Welcome to the Town Board Workshop Meeting, Thursday, September 7. Please rise and salute the flag. Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Emergency exits are to my right, behind the town attorney, and also the door you came in. Roll, please.
Councilman Zelenko will be noted as absent. Councilman Morris?
Here.
Councilman Gutierrez?
Here.
Councilwoman Doyle? Here. And Supervisor Purdy.
Here. Public comment?
I'll start right off with Jean.
Jean Rebellard, 464 Old Route 22, Amenia. I'm here tonight. I want to talk about ARC 38 and the flyer that they have out. They're advertising for their open house, community potluck, their tours, their full day of adventures and activities. So we live a couple properties up. ARC 38 is located at 426 Old Route 22. They are holding day camps, potlucks, tours. We have concerns about parking and infrastructure. We've asked since 2011 for the town to enforce zoning on the property. We've gotten a mixed bag of answers and solutions. I'm not going to go into all the details because a lot of you know the history of this. The problem is that zoning has to be enforced across the board and cannot be selective. It's not fair to anyone, including ARC 38, if you're misleading them on what they need to do to be compliant in the zone. We've been told numerous times that in order to have camps, use the barn, tours, etc., the owners of the property have to go through a zoning amendment. We have been told as far back as 2013 that they were told that. Now there's a new owner, and when my husband called the building inspector yesterday to ask what was going on there, the building inspector replied, "I'm not going down there. They are new people and they're a nonprofit, so we're going to give them a chance." So our attorney, Allison Atwood, who's here with us tonight, sent a request to the building inspector yesterday, of which we are still awaiting a reply. One of the things we are requesting is a copy of where it says in the zoning, they're a nonprofit, so we're going to give them a chance. I had trouble finding that in the document. We would like to request that this zoning issue with ARC 38 be reviewed by New York State or the town or planning board attorney, whatever you as a board suggest. We're not comfortable working with this building inspector or the building department, as we had an issue in April on a project that my husband was handling. He, the contractor, Brad, the attorney, all got the necessary permits from the building inspector for demolition at this site. Within a day of work starting, the New York State Labor Department was called in. The contractor on the project told us the New York State Labor Department told him that the call came from the town hall. The building inspector said he didn't do it. I would hope not, since he gives the permits, he'd be calling on himself. As long as we're being told the call came from within the town hall, we have reservations about doing any further communication with the building department. As residents of the town, we should be able to have confidence and privacy, any resident, when you're working on a project with the town and the building department. So we'd like to hear from the board in the next 10 days, if possible, maybe attorney to attorney, how to move forward resolving this and how to have an open discussion about what is going on at ARC 38. Thank you.
If I may comment to that, because I did speak with the building inspector. So I did review your correspondence to the building inspector and would advise you to submit.
Excuse me, someone is speaking. Please sit down.
And would advise you to submit that as a formal FOIL request to the town clerk. And I will be coordinating with the building inspector and happy to speak with you on the matter.
Is there any other public comment? Okay, supervisor's report. There will be a Veterans Information Fair, the Amenia Town Hall, Saturday, September 16th from 10 to 2. Participants will be Dutchess County Clerk Brad Kendall for issuance of Dutchess County Favor Discount Card, which is a card given to veterans to use at whatever businesses give veteran discounts, and they'll also give you a list of the businesses and DMV services info. Dutchess County Veteran Service, providing information on VA benefits. Dutchess County Vet to Vet Veterans Peer Services Program, VA Hudson Valley Healthcare System, eligibility verification and registration for medical care, My Health Vet Program, educating veterans on how to electronically access their VA medical records, VA Medical Foster Home Program, the American Legion Post 1949 Wingdale, Commander John Conto, Legal Services of the Hudson Valley Veterans Alliance. To best serve the veterans attending, it is essential they bring a copy of their military discharge paper, which is the DD-214. If you have a relative or a neighbor who is a veteran, please bring them if you are able to. Dial a ride at NECC will also be available for rides. Dutchess County Executive Marcus Molinaro joined several county and local officials earlier the last few days to announce 11 of the 12 recipients of funding through the 2017 Dutchess County Municipal Innovation Grant Program. Nearly $1.75 million in grants were granted for 12 projects. The town of Amenia, along with the town of Dover, town of Northeast, village of Millerton, and Dutchess County, were awarded a regional ambulance service study project award, $190,000. This will be a two-phase project. Phase 1 will focus on the towns of Amenia, Dover, and Northeast, and village of Millerton, who will hire a consultant to evaluate current operations and make recommendations to evaluate the effectiveness of contracting out separately for ambulance services versus joining forces to collaborate on a regional delivery of services. Phase 2 will be a study to evaluate the steps necessary to create an emergency services authority in Dutchess County. The objective of the authority would be to provide a coordinated solution for the delivery of EMS among its members, which could include individual agencies and local municipalities that is patient-centered, consistent, reliable, affordable, and sustainable.
And can I ask a question while we're on that?
Yes.
What years will they be intending? So it certainly wouldn't be affecting our budget year this year. Are they, what years are they intending to study? Is that,
It's not going to affect our budget at all.
not for this year, but is this for like 2019, 20, 21? I mean, how far out are we projecting? Because, you know,
They're going to look at what is currently in place
Right.
and do the study based on what's currently in place and then make recommendations. There isn't,
what year? I mean, what year do we think we'll have a package to review?
next year.
Okay, good.
There will be an organ recital at Smithfield Church. New York Philharmonic organist Kent Triddle will be in recital at Smithfield Presbyterian Church on Saturday, September 9th at 3:30 to benefit the Oratorical Society of New York. He will perform works by J.S. Bach, Mendelssohn, and Guillemot on the 1893 Johnson & Son Tracker organ. A suggested donation of $20 is asked at the door. Reception will follow. For more information, call 718-473-4623. The Smithfield Church is located at 656 Smithfield Valley Road. I have some information here on Hurricane Harvey and how to help. Dutchess County Executive Marcus Molinaro encourages residents, organizations, and businesses to support relief efforts with donations of money and/or time through trusted, reputable, voluntary, or charitable organizations. The National Voluntary Organizations in Disaster, NVOAD website is an excellent resource to find trusted organizations who are participating in a coordinated national effort to assist. As our generous community seeks to help out fellow citizens in need in Texas, let us be sure our assistance is helpful and beneficial to the victims. Monetary donations provide immediate assistance in donating through organizations such as the American Red Cross, the Salvation Army, the United Way, and others who are part of the VOAD Association. Individuals and organizations are asked not to self-deploy unexpectedly showing up to any of the communities that have been impacted by Hurricane Harvey, as it will create an additional burden for first responders. It is also recommended to not donate unsolicited goods such as used clothing, miscellaneous household items, medicine, or perishable foodstuffs at this time. There are specific donation needs being coordinated, and information is available on the NVOAD website about the specific ways you can help. Locally, the United Way of the Dutchess Horn region is working in coordination with NVOAD, running a supply drive to assist the Texas Diaper Bank in Feeding Texas. Needed items include diapers, pull-up baby wipes, as well as food items such as snacks and shelf-stable pantry items. The United Way will be collecting donations through Thursday, September 7th at their Poughkeepsie and Newburgh offices. In addition, the Millerton Veterinary Practice in Millerton, New York, we are collecting donations for Houston animals through September 13th. The following items are needed and can be dropped off at Millerton Veterinary Practice this week, beginning Wednesday 9/6 through Friday 9/8, between the hours of 9 a.m. and 5 p.m. Saturday 9/9 between 9 and 1, and next week Monday 9/11 through Wednesday 9/13 between the hours of 9 a.m. and 1 p.m. They are looking for dog food, cat food, bird seed for parakeet and parrots, cat litter, non-clumping, leashes, and collars. On Monday, September 11th, please remember this fateful day in your own way. Building Department report. Please find August monthly report for the Building Department as building permits. We have issued 11 new building permits totaling $13,022.80, along with one renewal of $175. We're continuing with certificate of occupancy searches, and for this month we did 7 searches, which total $700, along with one fire inspection of $50, bringing the total for the month to $13,947.80. Town clerk report.
Supervisor, I received a note. There's a new public comment that was unaware of how quick it works, and he'd like to know if he could make a quick comment.
Certainly.
Sorry for the confusion here. I just have never been to one of these meetings before. I didn't know whether the public comment was the appropriate.
Welcome.
Thank you. My name's John Rockwell. My wife Linda and I have had a place on South Amenia Road for 30 years. And I'm here to speak in opposition to the Kent Hollow mine issue. We were initially attracted to where we now live because of the beauty of that whole valley. And when we first got there, John Segala and Amenia Sand and Gravel were still operating their thing on both sides of South Amenia Road. But eventually that stopped, and his operation on the north side of the road has now been turned into a rather beautiful pasture where animals on our land now graze. Part of our property is right on Weebatuck Creek, directly across from the Kent Hollow property. And naturally, there's partly a NIMBY thing here, not in my backyard. But I also do think that the whole valley would be damaged in terms of its rural beauty if that mine were to continue. And I can't speak to other issues, such as whether or not the Kent Hollow people are correct that their mine has been in continuous use for 15 or 20 years or whatever they're saying. I can't speak to whether or not persuasive arguments and or threats were delivered at the closed meeting of the zoning board last week, causing the recusal of members of the board and their attorney. And I don't know how important the issue of endangered species is, although rattlesnake dens have been found on our land right across from their mining operation. But what I can speak to is simply that there is a zoning plan for this town, and the zoning plan lists this as not as a commercial area, but as a agricultural area and as a private home area. And I would hope that the zoning plan had teeth in it, that it would be upheld rather than subverted by an unwise variance. So I'm simply registering the feelings of myself and a bunch of our neighbors that this application to resume serious mining activity at Kent Hollow not be permitted. Thank you.
Is there any other public comment? Town clerk report.
Good evening. The monthly share has been remitted to the supervisor in the amount of $386.75. The August 17th meeting minutes were circulated earlier to the town board. I'm not sure if everybody's had the opportunity to review them. I know Jim said he did. If you guys are ready to accept them, or if you want to wait till later.
I have, so there's two. Anybody else review them?
I have.
I have too.
Everybody's reviewed them? I'll make a motion that we approve the Thursday, August 17th, 2017 Town Board meeting minutes as presented.
Second.
Councilman Delango?
Abstain.
Councilman Morris?
Yes.
Councilman Gutierrez?
Abstain.
Councilwoman Doyle? And
Yes.
Supervisor Prody?
Yes.
Thank you. I'd also like to let everybody know that hunting licenses are on sale at this time, and I know the big attraction is doe permits, so I'm encouraging everybody to apply for the lotto because we've had some successful wins on that transaction. Our hunters all come in for doe permits, so let them know that we are selling them. It's a lotto system, so the hunters out there know what this means, and
Okay.
they just need to know that we are selling them.
Okay.
Throughout the course of the year, and it actually began at the end of last year, we have been advertising continuously for the Zoning Review Committee. And this past week, we received an application from Norm Kea, who has expressed an interest to join as an alternate ZBA member. I don't know if you guys would like to
Actually, we have a resolution to
do
address that later on in the
So that way
meeting.
you know he is the application. I have received it, and it is here.
But that's a zoning review committee, and this is a,
Oh,
Alternate.
Yeah, we've
so is the
also
ZBA.
advertised for that.
okay, so
it's-
both of them.
But that's what we're
Okay.
going to be talking about later. So I do have an application in hand received for Norm Kea.
Does he have a cover letter?
What?
Does he have a letter with that?
No, he's a former ZBA member and a former town board member. I don't really think he needs a letter.
Okay.
He also currently sits on our water district, so he is an active member of other committees. So I didn't call him and ask him for one, only because
No,
I figured everybody knew Norm Kea. I don't know.
But everybody else has to interview and has to go through the same process. We interviewed people that were part of the town for 15 years. So, I mean, if we're going to stay with one process, we should stay with that process.
I would agree. Just,
You know, I mean, just let's keep things uniform.
Were there any other applicants?
There are no other applicants at this time.
I think that's something that the board needs to consider.
I emailed my application.
can you go to the podium? I'm sorry. It's mandatory.
I'm sorry. My name is Jim Wright, and I emailed you my application as an alternate on first thing Tuesday morning
Who did you email it to?
to
Town
Dawn Marie.
clerk. I can check my spam. I can check my
Okay.
spam email. No, I mean,
I mean, I titled it, you know, as,
Well, we'll table
Yeah.
it for now and do it at our September 21st meeting and set up interviews for both in between. Because they're not, the ZBA isn't meeting again until, I believe, the
September
28th.
And just so the board's aware, they do have the authority to appoint 2 alternates. So you do have that ability if you wish.
It says 1 in the resolution.
Right, because the understanding was that only 1 was going
We
to
only
be
had one.
appointed.
I see.
So
We need
the
a
next
new
resolution will be for 2, once we interview.
Okay.
But that's what the original resolution that we did to hire was for 2 alternates.
So we authorized up to 2
Correct.
alternates, so the resolution should probably say
2.
up to 2.
Well, the resolution had a space for both names.
Excuse me?
The resolution we were going to pass today had a place for both names in it. So we would have
They just said
had,
it was said 1.
it said 1 because we only had 1 applicant. We weren't aware of the other applicant.
No, but what I'm saying, instead of keep on writing resolutions, just make the next resolution up to 2. What happens if someone pulls out and there's still 1 applicant again, and the resolution reads 2 applicants?
Maybe we could just strike the 1 to the 2, and then, or up to 2, like you said.
That's what I'm saying, so
Up
if
to
it's 1 or 2, the resolution is still
We're
good.
done. We don't have to do it again?
Yeah, that's probably the best. So
The
that-
easiest.
Right, most efficient.
I mean, I'm for, if you want, change it now, and with that change, we can accept it tonight.
We can't accept it tonight. We have an interview. You're the one that wants to interview
Yeah,
everybody.
but you're accepting that we can interview, right?
This
No,
doesn't,
the resolution is to actually appoint them.
oh, see, there's a place for the actually name to go in
Put their
there.
names in them.
Right.
Rather
And you
than,
should designate 2. If you have 2 candidates, you should name those candidates.
So we need to do a new resolution with a space for the 2 candidates for the next meeting,
Okay.
and we'll do that. Is there a time that you have that you'd like to interview both candidates? Before the 21st?
Are we going to have budget meetings that maybe we could,
No, we're not. I don't have all the budget information yet. Because the departments don't have to have everything in until September 20th.
How's the 14th?
good for me.
14th? Yes,
That's all right.
for everyone?
I think so.
And how early can you do them?
14th?
14th.
what time?
I'm okay with that.
What time?
5:30.
It's 5:30. Will that work?
5:30 is tough, but
You want
let's,
to do it 6? We
I
can
mean,
do it
6 would be a little better.
You wanna
Give
do
me a little
6?
more wiggle room, yeah.
Okay, the 14th at 6 o'clock. We'll be in touch with you
6
for
o'clock?
interview.
You confirming? Yes. On live television?
He's the first one.
Okay, so we'll have Mr. Wright first one, and I'll check the spam email, and then I'll forward you his application.
Okay.
Okay, so just for some fun events going on in the month of September here in the town of Amenia, SPCA will be holding the rabies clinic here at the Amenia Town Hall lower parking lot this Saturday, September 9th, from 8 a.m. until noon. Also beginning this weekend at Beekman Park is our Hudson Valley Youth Soccer League. They will be in full swing. Also continuing in the month of September, Wasaik will be having a Kids Community Day. Come enjoy the bounce and fun. It's going to be Saturday, September 16th, 11 a.m. until 4 p.m. at the Wasaik Firehouse. The cost is $10 per child. Refreshments will be sold separately. After you're done bouncing, stop by the Amenia Firehouse for their monthly pancake breakfast. And after you're done having that delicious breakfast, go back down to Wasaik for their community tag sale. This is the first time, and they're looking to make an annual free tag sale, bringing the community together at the Wasaik Firehouse. Tables are free. It's their way of looking back to give to the community. If you're looking to reserve a table, vendors, please call area code 845-239-1445. And then Wasaik will end the month on September 24th with their last pancake breakfast of the season. And that concludes my report for this evening.
Committee reports?
Good evening, everyone. I'm Michelle Summergy, and I'm with the Town of Amenia Recreation Commission, and we had a meeting on Tuesday night where we went over the budget forms for 2018, and many of them have been submitted from the Rec Committee, and some are still working on them. One of the things that were brought up at the meeting was that this past summer, we had a baseball tournament, and it seems to have been well received, and I understand it's going to be it's already been written by Christine Ford, so that we will have it on the baseball line for next year. So when the budget comes through, we'll be able to see that. We also had Rick, sorry about his last name, he resigned from the board Monday night. He just couldn't do it anymore. So we are seeking a new board, commission. We're seeking a new applicant, any applicant. Please feel free when the applications come out, if you would like to join the Recreation Commission, please fill it out. And come with ideas and things that you want to do or participate in, that you would like to see started in recreation, whether it be for children, youth, adults, seniors, community. Please join us for something like that. Also, the senior trips. I put in for the senior trips and senior picnics for the Recreation Commission. I put mine there in for that. And they're pretty much the same as last year because we've been successful with that amount. The Senior Center will be on Thursday, September 14th from 10 a.m. to 2 a.m. It'll be on the second floor. The meeting is to discuss next year's events and the center. If you plan to come, please call me, let me know. I'm looking for if seniors want to come, and if they want to participate in doing something else, and whatever, if you want to have guest speakers in, if you want to work somehow in the community or something. I'm just going to be really blunt. I don't wish to play bingo for 4 hours. And I don't think that's a totally constructive thing for us to be doing. I don't mind playing bingo for an hour or what have you, but I think as seniors we should be coming together with another purpose involved. My opinion, seniors, you can call me, tell me what you think, it's okay. Senior bus trip is this Tuesday, September 12th. It's going to the AquaTurf to see Motown. It will leave, I'm going to give you the times of the leaving. It will leave Tally Ho at 8 a.m., the Town Hall in Amenia at 8:30, and Millerton at 9 a.m. Okay? And then we will be leaving AquaTurf at 3:30 to come back here. And we have like 40 seats. That was the allotted seats that AquaTurf gave us, so we have them pretty well filled. The next trip is the senior trip to Crookers Oktoberfest, Thursday, October 29th. It's $50 per person, $2 cash tip for the driver. You will get a breakfast, a lunch, a 4 p.m. snack, music, dancing, games, free beer and wine, and soft drinks. We will arrive at 10:30 a.m. at Crooker's, and we will depart there at 4:30. The senior holiday party, the date will be Wednesday, December 13th. It will be held at the pond. The menu is to be announced. I still have to work that out with the pond. Appetizers will be served at 3 o'clock. We will have music by Wayne Targrove and door prizes. Last year we had over 50 people attend, so I hope that you all will once again attend. And once again, you may drive yourself or get on the bus. If you're going to drive yourself because it's more convenient for you, you just have to let me know you're going to do that. And if you're going to go to the event, you must sign up with me. You can't sign up with anybody else. Nobody else can help you but me. Okay. The Clove Creek Dinner Theater is definitely going to be on Saturday, November 25th. Now that's the Saturday after Thanksgiving. And it's an evening show. We'll arrive early. And the details will be announced fully. There's some of it's on the TV already. And right now, I think those details are what's standing. Okay. There's also a memo on the TV for senior bowling over at New Milford. It used to be called Lori's Lanes. It's now Dollar Bills, and it's on Tuesdays, and it starts this Tuesday, the 12th, and it's $12 a week to play, and you can join a team of 3 people or so. So if you got a couple of friends or you don't, you just come. If you don't have a friend, we'll find you a friend. And so that's on the thing for the seniors. That's everything I have for the seniors. Does anybody have any questions?
I just had something to add.
Oh, okay, yes.
There was a question that came up at the recreation meeting, what was it, Monday night?
Monday night, yes.
Is the insurance going to pay for the Binkman Park vandalism, was a question that they asked us to.
Oh, yeah, they asked that question, but I don't know.
I don't know. We have
Has that been submitted to Byron Barnes?
No, I've been waiting for the sheriffs to give me a report, and I haven't gotten one yet.
And then, I guess his operating statements, I asked them if they were getting them, and they did get, Chippewa got it, but he's not getting it on a regular basis. So I think what's happening is that most of them don't use their town emails because they use it so infrequently.
Well, Michelle's the treasurer, so she's the one who was getting it.
Yeah, so I am getting.
She was getting it every month.
Yes.
I have all their preferred emails, just so.
Okay, just so they know?
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
So you can, when you get it, you can just forward it to them.
Okay, I'll do that.
Okay, and then the third thing that sounded interesting to me is that volleyball is on Thursday nights and from 6 to 9 at Weebatuck.
Yes, that's a new one I think they're starting. I don't know
Well,
if
it's
new.
not new, but I think it's starting up again, is
Starting
what
up
I
again,
understood.
okay.
And that Susie Deloney is coordinating.
Yes, that's what I heard. Yes.
And then I just got notice that the Northeast Duchess Fund at Berkshire Taconic Community Foundation authorized $4,000 for the dance program. So that, in addition to the $750 from Arts Mid-Hudson, gives us more than I had budgeted for. I had thought $2,000 was what I had budgeted for. So I'm looking to get the piano that was donated out of.
It's gone.
It's already gone. And then the curtains up that.
I don't know. You'll have to check with John.
The extra curtain is what I would look to getting some bids.
You need to
get that done.
talk to John about that.
Okay.
But the piano's long gone.
Excellent. Well, thank you very much. And it's starting up on Saturday, December 16th from 10 a.m.
September.
Sorry, what did I say?
December.
So it starts in September, the 16th, Saturday, and it'll be in the auditorium. And anyone from second through high school is, and if you're a student in the Weebatuck School District is great, but we don't turn away kids who are really interested in being in our theater arts program. It's free, it's 10 weeks, it's led by an extremely talented instructor, and that's Heather Hullahan Gurneri, if I'm pronouncing that correctly. who lives here in Millbrook. So we're very lucky to have that, and we'll have a final performance in December.
Yeah, I'm having John check with Richard Hyatt to see if that needs another coat. And as far as all the other floors that we have done, there is a coat on them, but it's clear.
Okay, so there is a protective coat?
Yeah.
Okay.
It was put on it when they were done. I checked into that.
Okay.
Can we go back to my report?
Yes.
So as we all heard this evening, I've received Americo Lanju's resignation from Recreation, and that is effective immediately. So it was effective for his date of yesterday, 9/6. So at this time, I'm seeking permission of the board to go ahead and advertise for the open seat that is now available with a term to expire on December 31st, 2019.
Make a motion to accept the resignation with regret. Rick Lonjo. Is there a second?
Second.
Councilman Delango?
Yes.
Councilman Morris?
Yes.
Councilman Gutierrez?
Yes.
Councilwoman Doyle?
Yes.
And Supervisor Perotti?
Make a motion to authorize the town clerk to advertise for a Recreation Commission.
Second.
Have we also advertised just per forma for the alternate to the ZBA position?
They're on our website. It's kind of been just
And it's on
been
Channel
there.
22. We
22
can
or web,
put it part of the press release
We
to
can add it in
Okay.
again.
add the other,
Just to
whoever,
make sure
there's
everything is
other,
done. Openings?
openings too. Water committee's one of them.
I'll do the exact same ad that we have on our website.
And the enhancement committee?
It's on there.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good.
I'm trying to get water.
it going.
I'm trying to get, there's everything
Right.
that we have open.
Yeah, and just add
So we'll
Recreation
just add
Commission.
rec to
Yeah.
that? Okay.
So that'll be fine.
Councilman Delango?
Yes.
Councilman Morris?
Yes.
Councilman Gutierrez?
Yes.
Councilwoman Doyle?
Yes.
And Supervisor Perotti?
Yes.
Great, thanks.
Okay, the resolution to set the public hearing for the Community Development Block Grant recommendations, which we're required to do every year. I sent a copy of the grant itself with the priorities for this year to all the board members and also the town clerk. So if anyone wants to look at the application, it will be available in the town clerk's office. Resolution number?
33.
A resolution authorizing a public hearing regarding ideas for community development block grant projects in the town of Amenia in 2018. Whereas the town of Amenia desires to seek community development block grants as a member of the Dutchess County Community Development Block Grant Urban Consortium, and whereas the town of Amenia would like to hear ideas from the public regarding potential projects for the town board to consider next year, now therefore be it resolved that the town board of the town of Amenia hereby authorizes the publication of a legal notice in the official newspaper announcing that a public hearing will be held at Amenia Town Hall at 7 p.m. on September 21st to hear ideas from the public and to discuss the 2018 CDBG grant application process, which has an October 6, 2017 deadline. And I make that motion.
Second.
Supervisor Perotti?
Yes.
Councilman Morris?
Yes.
Councilman Doyle?
Yes.
Councilman Gutierrez?
Yes.
And Councilman Delango?
Yes.
Resolution number 34.
34.
Okay, this is a resolution for new Dutchess Community College contract. As a result of the sale of the Millerton Elementary School, Dutchess Community College was no longer able to offer an ESL class at the one that they were offering there. We've been offering English as a second language for several years now from Dutchess Community College. What we will be doing is offering a second section of the English as a second language, in addition to high school equivalency. The other class they were teaching for high school equivalency was in Spanish. They will offer a high school equivalency in Spanish and in English. We do have a room that, as part of our contract with Weebatuck, available. I was in contact with Weebatuck, and they agreed that Dutchess Community College could use that room down there to offer these classes. Authorizing a license agreement with Dutchess Community College for English as a second language and high school equivalency program. Whereas the Town of Amenia Town Board is determined it's the best interest of the town for the public to have courses of instruction available for learning English as a second language and high school equivalency. Whereas Dutchess Community College can provide such a course at the Amenia Town Hall, provided the town makes available to them one classroom large enough to safely fit up to 30 students and one instructor for 25 hours per week for ESL and 25 hours per week for HSE on Mondays through Saturdays between the hours of 9 a.m. and 9 p.m. for the period September 1, 2017 to September 1, 2018. Whereas such a classroom is available at the Amenia Town Hall and is not currently being used for the town for town business. Whereas the town board desires to provide Dutchess Community College with a license to use one classroom on the second floor of the town hall building for the purpose of providing ESL and HSE courses to members of the public. Whereas the town board wishes to authorize the town supervisor to enter into a license agreement in the form attached hereto with Dutchess Community College to allow Dutchess Community College to use one classroom, the second floor, the Amenia Town Hall for the purpose of offering an ESL and HSE course to members of the public for more than 25 hours per week for each course on Mondays through Saturdays between the hours of 9 a.m. and 9 p.m. for the period from September 1st, 2017 to September 1st, 2018. Whereas the authorization to enter into a license agreement for the use of the classroom in the Amenia Town Hall is a Type 2 action that is exempt from seeker. Now therefore be it resolved that the town board hereby authorizes the supervisor to enter into and execute the license agreement with Dutchess Community College in the form attached hereto, and any documents necessary or incidental to effectuate said license agreement. And the reason the resolution says the second floor is that as soon as the planning board room is repairs are complete, they will be using that room which they used before. They were using the back of the auditorium. Is there a motion?
I'll make the motion.
Second.
Supervisor Prody?
Yes.
Councilman Morris?
Yes.
Councilwoman Doyle?
Yes.
Councilman Delango?
Yes.
And Councilman Gutierrez?
Yes.
Okay, we had Ms. McGovern here who talked to us about climate change and us, if we take the Climate Smart Communities Pledge, we will eventually be eligible for grants. Whereas the town of Amenia believes that climate change poses a real and increasing threat to its local and global environments and is primarily due to the burning of fossil fuels. Whereas the effects of climate change will endanger our infrastructure, economy, and livelihoods, harm our farms, orchard, and ecological communities, including native fish and wildlife populations, spread invasive species and exotic diseases, reduce drinking water supplies and recreational opportunities, pose health threats to our citizens. Wherever the town believes that a response to climate change provides an unprecedented opportunity to save money and to build livable, energy-dependent, and secure communities, vibrant innovation economies, healthy and safe schools, and resilient infrastructure. Whereas the town believes the scale of greenhouse gas emissions reductions required for climate stabilization will require sustained and substantial efforts. Whereas the town believes that even if emissions were dramatically reduced today, communities would be required to adapt to the effects of climate change for decades to come. Now therefore be it resolved that the town of Amenia, in order to reduce greenhouse gas emissions and adapt to a changing climate, adopts the New York State Climate Smart Communities Pledge, which comprises the following 10 elements. Pledge to be a climate smart community, set goals, inventory emissions, plan for climate action, decrease community energy use, increase community use of renewable energy, realize benefits of recycling and other climate-smart solid waste management practices, reduce greenhouse gas emissions through the use of climate-smart land use tools, enhance community resilience, and prepare for the effects of climate change, support development of a green innovation economy, inform and inspire the public, commit to an evolving process of climate action. The foregoing resolution was voted upon with all councilwomen and councilmen voting as follows, and I make that motion.
I'll second.
Supervisor
Discussion.
Perotti?
Yes.
Sorry, and I apologize if I missed this. What grants does this make us eligible for?
So at the last meeting, there was a presentation done.
It's in your mail.
And it's a program through the DEC and NYSERDA, and there's a host of grants that would become available. So this is just the first step. And I should inform the board and the clerk that this resolution would also need to be filed with the DEC if it's so adopted. I can assist you with that.
Answer your question?
Yeah,
Okay, very
yes,
good.
thank you.
Supervisor Perotti?
Yes.
Councilman Morris?
Yes.
Councilwoman Doyle?
Yes.
Councilman Delango?
No.
And Councilman Gutierrez?
Yes.
Okay, won't be doing the resolution to appoint ZBA alternate, and the resolution to hire attorney for ZBA counsel position we'll be doing after our executive session. So we need to have discussions on it. Other matters. I received an email from St. Thomas Episcopal Church. Dear Ms. Perotti, each year St. Thomas Episcopal Church offers a blessing of the animals in honor of St. Francis Day. This year we would like to make this available to the entire community. We are asking if it would be possible to have a non-denominational blessing of the animals on the Town Hall property on Sunday, October 8th at 2 p.m. The Town Hall's central location and accessibility to all makes it a fitting locale. It is our deepest hope that this will be an uplifting event for our whole community. Thank you for your consideration. Blessings, the Reverend Betsy Fisher. Is there any comment on this?
I think it's a great idea. Town halls makes a good place to do it.
We're not ready for public comment yet, Sharon. We have some other matters.
We're closed, I'm sorry.
No, I'll let you know.
I'll make a motion that we authorize the use of the town hall property on Sunday, October 8th at 2 p.m. for the non-denominational blessing of the animals.
Second?
Discussion.
Okay.
We're not running afoul of any sort of mixing of church and state here, or are we?
The parking lot's a common area. It isn't, we're not having it in the building.
And I think the fact that it's non-denominational and, I mean, freedom of speech, I think that there's constitutional grounds that they could do it, but I can certainly look into it further if you wish.
I don't think anybody's going to object to a blessing of the animals in a non-denominational way.
In the parking lot.
Just making sure.
Okay.
Councilman Delango?
Yes.
Councilman Morris?
Yes.
Councilman Gutierrez?
Yes.
Councilwoman Doyle?
Yes.
And Supervisor Perotti?
Yes. And we have a resolution to introduce local law for Ridgecrest. Have a resolution number?
We were at 36.
And would be local law number,
I believe 3. I'll confirm that before it,
this will be 3.
because there's 2 that passed.
Okay, introducing proposed local law number 3 of 2017 entitled a local law to amend local law number 2 of 2011 as amended by local law number 1 of 2016 and confirm that the addition to the zoning map of the town of Amenia as 65 plus acres of land located on Sin Patch Road to the soil mining overlay zoning district subject to certain conditions and to schedule a public hearing on said local law and to authorize publication of said notice of said public hearing. At the meeting of the Town Board of the Town of Amenia held at the Amenia Town Hall on the 7th day of September 2017, 7 p.m., Town Supervisor called the meeting to order, and I make that motion. Is there a second?
Second.
To introduce the following local law to be known as proposed local law number 3 of 2017 entitled a local law to amend local law number 2 of 2011 as amended by local law number 1 of 2016 and confirm the addition to the zoning map of the town of Amenia of 65 plus acres of land located on Sin Patch Road to the soil mining overlay zoning district subject to certain conditions. Now therefore be it resolved by the town board of the town of Amenia as follows. Section 1, Statement of Purpose and Intent. The purpose of this resolution is to introduce proposed local law number 3 of 2017. Proposed local law is to amend local law number 2 of 2011. Previously amended by local law number 1 of 2016, which changed the town of Amenia official zoning maps by adding 65 plus acres of land to the soil mining overlay zoning district, subject to certain conditions. The property is a portion of a larger 143.91 acre parcel located on Sin Patch Road and owned by Ridgecrest Farms Incorporated, bearing tax parcel number 716500404090. The property is primarily located in the town's rural residential zoning district with a small portion in the hamlet residential zoning district. The purpose of this proposed local law is to 1, bring the provisions of Town Board Resolution 21 of 2013 into compliance with the town code, 2, permit certain limited residential and transit-oriented development uses on the property within the area previously added to the SMO, and 3, otherwise confirm the boundaries of the SMO. Resolution 21 of 2013 approved a special permit for the applicant's proposed mine on the property. As a condition of the zone change authorized by the 2011 local law, the town board concluded that the applicant must grant the town or such other qualified conservation organization as the town board may designate a conservation easement perpetually restricting future use of approximately 65 acres of the property in the SMO. The local law also required the easement to be recorded upon the approval of the special permit for the mine by the town board. However, the easement was never recorded and therefore was not fully effective. Instead, pursuant to Resolution Number 21 of 2013, the applicant was granted a special permit to operate its soil and gravel mine within the SMO district, and this resolution required the applicant to provide 7 fully executed conservation easements, 1 for each phase of the mine, to be held in escrow by the town and recorded only at the time of completion and full reclamation of each phase of the mining operation. This resolution could not legally modify the conservation easement recording requirements of the 2001 local law, was inconsistent with the town code provisions requiring this conservation easement recorded upon receipt of all necessary permits to begin the mining operation. Town Code 121-17C3. The applicant has subsequently applied to the New York State Department of Environmental Conservation to modify its mining permits and to the town board to amend its special permit for Ridgecrest to prevent mining in buffer areas between 3 adjacent mining properties. Excuse me. In connection with these applications for modified permit, the town board finds it necessary to bring the conservation easement recording requirements of Resolution Number 21 of 2013 into compliance with the town code and the 2011 local law. The applicant recently proposed potential limited residential development on the property in the SMO, including up to 2 residential building envelopes of no more than 2 acres each, an approximately 4.8 acre area for transit-oriented development within 1/2 mile of the 10-mile river train station. Because the town's comprehensive plan update in 2007 finds it may be appropriate on reclaimed mining sites to extend land uses permitted in hamlet areas to adjacent lands, and Town Code number 121-16G provides for transit-oriented development on lands within 1/2 mile of the 10-mile river train station, the applicant has proposed, pursuant to Town Code 121-17C3-4, that certain portions of the property within the SMO should not be covered by a conservation easement, but instead should be available for future residential and transit-oriented development to the extent allowed by the Town Code and subject to securing all necessary permits and approvals. The 2011 local law did not permit these limited residential and transit-oriented development uses on the property in the SMO. Therefore, the amendments in this proposed local law are required. Section 2, amendment of local law number 2 of 2011 as amended by local law number 1 of 2016 and official zoning map. If the proposed local law is enacted, the 2011 local law as amended by local law (1) of 2016 shall be amended as specifically set forth in the local law annexed hereto to attachment A, subject to any further amendments prior to its final adoption. Section 3, effective date. The resolution shall become effective immediately. If enacted, the local law shall become effective immediately upon filing with the New York Secretary of State. Section 4, public hearing. Pursuant to municipal home rule law and the town law of the state of New York, it is necessary to hold a public hearing on this local law and on the application for a modified special permit. The town board has determined that a joint hearing should be held on both. Therefore, a public hearing shall be held in relation to said local law and the application for a special permit amendment as set forth in the form of notice herein provided, at which hearing parties and interested citizens shall have an opportunity to be heard. This hearing will be held at the town hall, I think it's October 6th. He said a month.
You said a month, so then we're 5th.
October 5th. Held on October 5th, 2017 at 7 p.m. That notice of said hearing shall be published in the official newspaper of general circulation in the town of Amenia by the town clerk at least 10 days before such hearing, and that such notice shall be in the following form. Notice of public hearing. Take notice that the town board and the town of Amenia will hold a public hearing at the town hall, 4988 Route 22, Amenia, New York, on October 5th, 2017 at 7 p.m. on proposed local law number 3 of 2017 entitled A Local Law to Amend Local Law number 2 of 2011 as amended by local law number 1 of 2016 and confirm the addition to the zoning map of the town of Amenia of 65 acres of land located on Sin Patch Road to the soil mining overlay zoning district subject to certain conditions. The purpose of the proposed local law is to, 1, permit certain limited residential and transit-oriented development uses within the area of the Ridgecrest mine previously added to the town's SMO on Sin Patch Roads, specified as tax map number 132000-7165-404090. 2, otherwise confirm the boundaries of the SMO for the Ridgecrest mine. 3, to require a conservation easement on certain portions of the Ridgecrest mine within the SMO, while bringing the conservation easement recording provisions applicable to the Ridgecrest mine as specified in Resolution Number 3 of 2013 into compliance with Local Law Number 2 of 2011, as previously amended by Local Law Number 1 of 2016 in the Town Code. Take further notice that the Town Board of the Town of Amenia will also hold a public hearing at the Town Hall, 4988 Route 22, Amenia, New York, on October 5th, 2017, at 7 o'clock p.m., jointly with the hearing on the proposed local law on an application from Ridgecrest Farms Incorporated for an amendment of its special permit to conduct soil mining operations at the Ridgecrest mine with a 25-foot buffer
Within 25.
within the 25-foot buffer area along the northern border of its property on Sinpatch Road specified as tax map number 132007165404090, an approximately .8 acre area of additional mining activity. The special permit amendment. Take further notice that copies of the aforesaid proposed local law and special permit amendment application materials will be available for examination at the Town of Amenia Town Hall, 4988 Route 22, Amenia, New York, during normal business hours on all business day between the date of this notice and the date of the public hearing. Take further notice that all persons interested in citizens shall have an opportunity to be heard on said proposal at the time and place aforesaid. Foregoing resolution was voted upon with all councilwomen and councilmen voting as follows.
Supervisor Perotti,
Yes.
Councilwoman Doyle,
Yes.
Councilman Delango,
Yes.
Councilman Gutierrez,
Yes.
and Councilman Morris.
Yes.
Okay, the other matter that I have is the planning board has requested that we hire an additional town planner for services. You have the information in your packet.
Is Mary Ann Johnson not available?
Apparently she is, but they wanted to have an additional planner.
Is it?
I'm not sure of the
typical to have two?
reasoning. Well, we can have two.
Or is she under contract?
Yes.
Have we ever had two before?
Not that I know of, but this was a request from the planning board chair.
Was there any color to that request? Did they say why?
No, they just wanted to have another planner to be able to call upon. For some of the projects.
So is it just in general, Morris Associates would be, Elizabeth Axelson, senior planner is who they're recommending
Yes,
for Morris?
yes.
I think it's a little hard for me to weigh the proposals without really understanding what they're hoping to accomplish by bringing on another planner, and without having the details of the current contracted party, or I guess they're out of contract, but details about their rate and
Do you have the details of the rate?
of the current party.
No, the only one we're voting on is this one.
I understand, but in order to compare the merits of an additional resource, it'd be helpful to have a comparison between the existing planner and these proposals.
Could we possibly interview her so that we have some
Sure.
sense of who she is, and maybe bring in the planning board secretary, or the
Chair.
chair, and have a discussion of how we expect this to, work most efficiently
We
and
can,
effectively?
you want to
in
do
those-
that on the 14th when we,
That would be great for me.
Okay. So we'll do that on the 14th also. Is there any other public comment?
I have good news and bad news. Sharon Kroger. Could I just ask a question before I start? Is this council associated with your other council?
Yes, ma'am.
Same firm? Okay, good.
Correct.
Firstly, I want to just draw your opinion, your attention to the plan that we gave you a copy, each board member, so you have a copy of the mini plan for the Oblong Valley that was designed 25 years ago. And it's worth looking at again because of the language and because of the great care with which it was put together by residents and others who were studying it. Those ideas from that mini plan for the Oblong Valley, which is the whole Weebatuck Valley, including 3 historic hamlets on the other side of the mountain, those ideas have been picked up in the master plan of 1990 and carried forward in the comprehensive update of 2007 along with zoning. So you've basically got those ideas alive abroad in the land, and it's important that you know, because this is the area in which, in the southern portion, Kent Hollow is attempting to assert grandfathered rights. The good news is that although many years ago we were advised to do a historical district throughout that region, we did not do so in a formal manner. However, in the last 4 or 5 months, one of our small committees, the Amenia Union Circle Tree and Flag Fund, has developed a historical subcommittee that's working on we've hired a historian, Neil Larson Associates, who does studies of the kind that clarify the value and importance of historical resources, both natural resources and built resources. So that's good news, just so that you know that's taking place. My second point is the bad news. The more we review the application of Kent Hollow Mine, the more disappointed we become. It is truly fraudulent in one particular way, and I want to call the board's attention to that, and also the council's attention to that. If you look through it, you find that in spite of the fact that it's adjacent and its trucks would be running through this whole historic district if it were to be able to achieve some kind of mining privileges there. You've got historical markers in every one of those hamlets, state historic markers, and you've got many buildings which can go directly onto the Register of Historic Places. And you have new investments in agricultural ventures there because of the importance of the agricultural soil and because of the fact that this town did exceptionally good planning and zoning in that regard, and so that people have gotten used to the idea that it's a safe, good place to put investments. So we're getting new ventures and organizations in that historic district, which is a kind of economic development that's important. It's a rural economic development that is compatible with preserving the soils and with preserving the historical resources. Now, with regard to the fraud, what you have there is a big, thick document where the word history is left out. You have to look very hard to find that one word, history. It actually might occur, but it occurs insignificantly if you see it. What they have done is written a proposal that clearly bypasses the normal review that you would have with the State Historical Review Agency. They do use the word cultural, which is a a part of that review, but they refer when they talk about cultural resources in the area of the mine, they're talking about archaeological artifacts, which are important and which were addressed in some small fashion, but not in the way in which those artifacts and that archaeological condition should be addressed. But the attempt here was to bypass the normal historical review that should have taken place. And when SHPO, that agency, does review these proposals, they do it more carefully. What's happened here in the last few years is the DEC and the SHPO have what they call agreements, side agreements, you would call it. Something called let's get the right word, LOR, letter of resolution, where both agencies sign it. And it basically says, well, we can shorten these reviews as long as it's not a certain way or another way or another way. And in this case, as long as major historical factors were not being damaged. SHPO basically gives this letter of resolution so that they can move more rapidly through the review process. Now, in this case, that's fraudulent, because here you have one of the richest historical districts anywhere in the United States. And that was told to me by people who worked at SHPO 25 years ago. I just would like to make sure that the board tells its council that they have to insist on a full historical review from SHPO. Thank you.
Is there any other public comment? Town board comments? None? Okay, make a motion to go into executive session for discussions relating to proposed, pending, or current litigation.
I'll second.
I'm sorry, before the board goes into executive session, I just have a couple updates I would like to provide the board.
Okay.
One, including the MTA easement. I have sent you follow-up emails and been reaching out to them. I've also called David Roth twice in the last week and have not heard anything back. So I'm trying to confirm whether, they are accepting of our latest comments. And their next board meeting is September 27th. So getting a little close, but I will continue to follow up. I just wanted you to be aware of those things.
Okay.
And as I mentioned, based on the public comment on ARC 38, I have spoken with Michael on that issue and will be looking into that matter, as well as there's a matter in which there's a fence that's been built in a highway, or a town highway. So I'm also looking into that issue and will be preparing correspondence related to that.
Okay, on Oak Drive.
Okay. You can proceed with going into executive session.
Okay, thank you.
So Hillary Thomas, I believe, has been our attorney when it comes to zoning enforcement. Are you working with her, or is she, how does that work going forward? Because it sounds like these are issues that she would typically take at court, but maybe because it's come to the town board's direct attention? I just don't understand who's taking what of those cases.
That wouldn't be something that she would be handling. This is a town right-of-way issue.
The fence.
Yes.
And then the other one is a zoning enforcement
That's
issue.
more, right, procedural, actual town court matters.
But you're helping her, or is she just not
No.
doing that?
So it's not to that point yet,
I see.
and this might be,
So if it goes to the court, then she'll handle it.
Correct.
Okay. Okay, I just was curious how that all works.
That's all I have. Councilman Delango?
Yes.
Councilman Morris?
Yes.
Councilman Gutierrez?
Yes.
Councilwoman Doyle?
Yes.
And Supervisor Party?
Yes.
Okay, so we come out of executive session and return to regular meeting at
You might
8:55.
want to turn yours on, Dawn.
Sure.
I'll authorize, make a motion to authorize Dave Everett to look at submission from Kent Hollow.
So you're making that motion?
And advise.
And advise the town board accordingly.
At the taxpayer's expense.
This is my motion. Authorize Dave Everett to look at the submission of Kent Hollows and advise the town board accordingly.
And is there a second?
Second.
Councilman Delango?
No.
Councilman Morris?
Yes.
Councilman Gutierrez?
Yes.
Councilwoman Doyle?
Yes.
And Supervisor Perotti?
Yes.
Downward, was it 9/7?
You make a motion to adjourn?
Second.
9 o'clock.
Aye.
All in favor? Any
Aye.
opposed?
Aye.